We're towards the end of the year. 2017 is coming to a close, and some of the statistics are out. So how are we doing? How are the markets? It's the Real Estate Show. Welcome to the Real Estate Show. My name is Rick Naples. I am the broker owner of Zone Realty LLC. You zone your home. Well, 2017 is coming to an end, as I said, and the statistics are out. The National Association of Realtors publishes a report every single year, and they do a survey. They ask people, what's going on as far as home sales are concerned, so that they can kind of get a realty gauge of what's going on in the marketplace. And the numbers come out. They tell you what is selling, what is not selling, how long houses have been on the market, what the average price is, and they interview buyers and sellers and ask them about the process. Now, a few of the interesting numbers or facts that came out in that report were not a big surprise. Year after year, we always seem to be somewhere between 96 and 98% of asking price being the sales price of the home. But when you look at single-family homes, and for this show, I'm just going to look at single-family homes because that made up the biggest part of the market. What are the average prices? What are people looking for? Well, again, in 2017, very similar to 2016, what seems to be the most popular home is a home that's between, say, 18 to 1900 square feet, at least 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, whether that's a bath and a half or 2 full bathrooms, and the average price nationally for a home like that is about $235,000. One of the other interesting things that came out in the report really was not a surprise. It stated that 85% plus of buyers start their search for a home on the internet. So the internet is a big part of the home buying process. That's why so many realtors out there, folks, get very involved with internet marketing, whether it's social media, websites, or so on and so forth. And you don't see much print advertising on homes anymore like we used to. Some of the interesting things that I found was, how long does it take to sell a home? Well, when you're looking at the numbers as far as nationally is concerned, and you're factoring all the different price ranges, the National Association of Realtors is saying from the time the home hits the market to the time it receives a acceptable contract is about 3 weeks. Now, I caution when I look at those kinds of numbers because there's a lot of different factors that are involved, not only price and location, but the economic situation of the area as far as how fast the home is going to sell. So you kind of got to take that measurement in stride. I put together a presentation and I pulled out some of those facts from the 2017 National Association of Realtors Buyer and Sellers Profile, and I thought I would share those with you now. Let's take a look. Did you see in that presentation a couple of things jump out at you? I was quite surprised when I read in the report that buyers are saying when they buy a home, they expect to stay in the home 15 years. That's a high number. When I started in real estate back in 2003, they were talking about the average time that a buyer would stay in a home was between 5 to 7 years. That's increased a lot over time, and there's a number of different factors and situations that have affected why they plan to stay that long. It could be a first-time home where they plan to raise their family and they're going to stay put till the kids make it through at least high school. Or it could be an economic situation where they just don't see they're going to have the ability to make any kind of moves. One of the other things that came out in the report that I thought was kind of interesting, talking about the number 15, was people were buying homes, their new homes, within about a 15-mile radius of where they live now. That says to me that people like to stay locally. Now, here in Connecticut, when we look at our numbers, one of our biggest concerns is we have a lot of people that are selling their homes and moving to other states, mainly for economic reasons. We know here in our state of Connecticut, we just went through a huge challenge as far as getting the state budget together. There are other economic changes as far as taxes that are concerned here in the state. So we do have a lot of people, especially when it comes to retirement, that are selling their homes and moving to other states. But rather than going down that path and looking at that, what's happening here in Connecticut as far as the market is concerned? I just talked to you about the national market. What's going on in Connecticut? Let's take a look at this presentation on some Connecticut figures that I was able to generate off the multiple listing service. I found it interesting that the average home price here in our state, in Connecticut, was about $259,000 compared to $235,000 nationwide. We're a little bit higher in our state. And that kind of makes sense. When they come up with these average numbers, folks, they're factoring in all the different price ranges. So you have the high homes that are $1 million plus the homes that are $100,000 and under, all being factored in order to come up with these averages. But in Connecticut, $259,000 was about the average for a home purchase. Again, most popular home, single family, detached home, 3 bedrooms, bath and a half, 2 bathrooms, just like the national figure. But the interesting thing is here in the state, the total number of days from time it's on the market till time it's contracted and closed was about 85 days, according to what I've been able to look at in the report. That is a little bit long, but again, you have to take into the factors of how the house is priced and what the local market area is. Let's take a look at this presentation, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk specifically about the county that I'm in, which is the Harford County area, and how it's doing. In the Harford County area, which is one of the counties here in the state of Connecticut, home sales have been steady. We are seeing a reduced amount of inventory as far as number of houses on the market, and that is basically because of the season we're in. At the time that I'm filming this show, we're just before Thanksgiving. So we're in the November, December last part of 2017. Home sales have slowed down a little bit. The inventories or the number of homes for sale will start to pick up in our state as we get through the winter months and start to head into March. Now, when we look at the average home or what the average home is selling for, the numbers are very close to what the statewide numbers are. It kind of parallels like to like. The only real difference that I saw is in the Harford County, instead of 85 days, it was about 82 days, which is not a big difference as far as houses and the time that they're on the market. 90% of the amount that a house is, the amount that's going to be financed, seems to be the most common type of loan. So you still have people that are putting down payments or 10% or so down payments on their home, when you're averaging about 90% as far as the loan is concerned. But that doesn't mean there isn't a lot of first-time buyers out there. Now, one of the interesting things that I was looking at, both nationally and locally, was what was the mix of homes? I mean, how many people are buying new construction? If you drive anywhere within our state, you see there's a lot of new construction going on, both commercially and also residentially. So what is happening? Well, the National Association of Realtors, when it broke it down to look at it, they were saying that the new home market is making up about 15% total of the marketplace. So that means people are still buying older homes. The average older home is about 25 years of age. One of the numbers that came out, and you saw it in one of the earlier presentations, is people seem to be buying homes no older than 1991. So, you're looking at roughly around a 25-year-old home. Now, why would someone buy a brand new home compared to buying a already lived-in home? Well, again, the report goes through and it itemizes out some of the thoughts that buyers have. Buyers believe that if they buy a brand new home, they're going to have less problems with utility systems like plumbing and electrical. They're not going to have to worry about updating the home or replacing a roof or so on and so forth for a number of years. But that doesn't say that people won't get into a home that's a little bit older, especially if it's in good, sellable condition. So again, it's up to the individual and it's up to what the specific market is going to do. As I say all the time here on the Real Estate Show, one of the best things for anyone to do, whether you're looking to sell your home or buy a home, is to sit and talk with a professional realtor. Now, the realtors are specialists, not only in the real estate market, but also in their local market as to what's going on. Let's take a look at this particular presentation, and I'll be back with a section I call the Real Estate Mailbag. This is the portion of the real estate show I call the real estate mailbag. It's my opportunity to answer questions that are sent in here to the real estate show, or sometimes asked to me by people when they see me out on the streets, or even things that come up in conversation with fellow realtors when I'm at different events. One of the most popular questions, as I've said many times here on the real estate show, is what are the markets doing? Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? Is it the right time to put my home on the market? Is it the right time to buy a house? Kind of what's going on. Give me your take. Well, again, I've always said here on the real estate show that the right time is the right time for you. You have to sit down and do your analysis of what your situation is. Do you need to sell your home because something has happened in your life that requires you to sell the home? I mean, do you need to scale up, scale down, stay the same? Is it a job transfer? Has the family grown? Just a number of different things. Or has life changed where someone has passed away? There's a separation in a marriage, whatever it might be. A lot of different reasons why a house needs to be sold, but that again depends on the individual and what's going on. As far as buying a home is concerned, well, I've said many, many times here on the real estate show, especially to the first-time buyers, if you are financially in the position to purchase a home, don't keep waiting. A lot of times people hesitate. They want to see what's going on with the economy. They want to see what's going on with interest rates and so on and so forth. And then they lose opportunities to possibly purchase that home that fits their needs exactly the way that they need it to fit. So you have to make that personal decision. And again, as I say many, many times, talk to a realtor. They're the ones that are in the business. They're the ones that are doing this every single day. And they're the ones that can give you the advice that you need as far as whether making that decision. My name is Rick Naples, broker-owner of Zone Realty, LLC. You zone your home. This has been the Real Estate Show. I thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you next time.